Hi, this is Miss Brooks. In this video, I'm going to show you how to center your clay, about a pound of clay on the wheel. First, you need to put it in the center. Make sure it's really stuck to the wheel. Everybody always first tells you think that you need to tighten everything up and put your arms in and make everything really tight, but I've recently learned that that's actually not the best way to go about doing it. You do want your hands to be wet, have some water on them, and you want a cone. So centering is just applying equal pressure on opposite sides of the clay. So in order to do that, you're going to press on opposite sides of the clay, push, and kind of pull up to create a cone. Okay? Okay, and then on the way back down, you're going to use this knuckle in your thumb, not your thumb knuckle here, the first one, but the one back here. And you're going to line that up with the center of your clay. Like this. And then to make sure that that gets centered, you're going to apply a little force on the opposite side of that clay. And really, you want to make sure that the clay doesn't move your hands and that your hands just kind of, you'll have some tension in your hands even though you're not tight everywhere else, you'll still have some tension in your hands. And that'll create, when you tighten that up and let the clay move around your hands, that will center it. So one more time, to cone it up, grab opposite sides of the clay, pull up, and then on your way back down using that knuckle, okay, so I have the clay is hitting here. I'm really the clay is hitting here on this hand. So opposite of that, it would be here, and that's where I am putting pressure on to center it. You can tell that your clay is centered by using a pen tool. Along the side, if you barely touch this on the side and it makes a mark all the way across without jumping or skipping, then you'll know it is centered. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a bowl. Once your clay has already been centered, then you'll do the following steps. You want to create the opening, pull that out, and make the bowl shape right from the get-go. And then you just pull up the walls. So here it is. Okay, once you have your wheel on, you're going to need to find the center. So I use my if I'm right-handed, I use my left hand, and I find the center with my thumb, and I use my right hand to be the force that pushes it down and makes the opening. Okay, once you have that opening, then I start right away with making that bowl shape. Right on the inside. I want that a nice, clean, smooth, rounded shape. So from the get-go, when I create the floor, I will pull that towards the outside. Again, I'm using my right hand on the side, or my left hand on the side, and my right hand is the force. It's the part that's making the opening. Once you have that open, your next step will be to pull up the walls. So I do have my hands that are wet, but I don't need a whole lot of water as long as it's sliding through my hands. I don't need to dunk the clay in water. Okay, so I'm gonna grab, I always have my hands touching all the time. You want your other hand to know what, you want one hand to know what the other one's doing. So I hold this with my, I use my middle fingers and my ring fingers as my support. And I kind of pinch down at the bottom and work my way up to pull up the wall. Okay. This might need a pass, another pass or two. Grabbing that clay at the bottom and working the way up. I release pressure when I get to the top. Once I have my walls pulled up, then I can shape it. I'm going to shape the walls to be the bowl shape that I want. I'm not applying as much force this time. I'm just pushing either inside or outside to get the bowl shape that I want. This is also when you can use a rib. To kind of help with that smoothness on the inside, or use a rib on the inside and kind of push that out a little bit to help you create your shape of your bowl. Okay, once I have the bowl shaped the way I want, I'm just going to check in on the bottom to make sure that's smooth. And get out any excess water that's in there. I'm going to cut the excess off here at the bottom. And I'm ready to cut it off the wheel. Using my wire tool, set it up in front of me. I don't want to let the wheel move it, but set it in front of me and then slice towards myself. And they are finished.